Hello friends, welcome to Easy Embryology Gross Anatomy channel. In today's video, we are going to learn about the second stage of embryology, that is embryonic period. So this embryonic period which extends from the 4th week to the 8th week. So we will see what are the changes occur in the embryonic period. We will see in the slides. Trilaminar germ disc. So this three-layer appearance we got it in the end of the 3rd week. Now in the embryonic period, how the derivatives are occurring from this three-layer we are going to see. So here we can able to see the three layers: ectodermal, mesodermal and endodermal layer. So the endodermal layer is for the protection, for covering, and the mesodermal layer which is essential for the development of the muscle and the blood vessels, and the endodermal layer which is mainly used for nutrition. So next one is the folding of the embryo. So these two main changes we are going to see in the embryonic period. So once the 4th week starts, that is the embryonic period starts, we can able to see the age of the embryo also. So how we can see it means, here the three periods are occurring. That is, one is the pre-somite and then somite period, and then third one is the post-somite period. So in the pre-somite period means it is from the 15th day to 20th day. It means already we have seen the formation of primitive streak, notochord formation and the intraembryonic mesoderm formation. So these three things seen in the pre-somite period. Next, in the somite period, here we are seeing here no. So this one is somite period. So this appearance will seen in the starting stage of the embryonic period itself. Next is the post-somite period. So in this post-somite period, we can able to calculate the crown to rump length. Crown to rump length means that is the length in the sitting position. So how we can calculate this? So we can take the length from the vertex of the skull to the midpoint between the buttock region. So this length can give the crown rump length of the embryo. So on the 32nd day, the length will be, it is 5 millimeter in length, and it is as the embryo go on develops, it increases 1.35 mm up to 55th day, and when it goes to the full term growth, daily 1.5 mm is increased after 55th day. So this is the thing is going to happen in the post-somite period. We are going to see only the ectodermal derivatives in this embryonic period. So when you see the ectodermal derivatives means already the notochord formation is there. So above the notochord formation, we can see the neuroectodermal cell and the surface ectodermal cell layer we are seeing. What are the changes occurring in this neuroectoderm? We are going to see in the videos. First here, above this notochord, the neuroectodermal cells are going to appear. So this neuroectodermal cells going to thicken and forms the neural plate. Okay, so this is the neural plate we can see. So here the thickened part is the neural plate. Then what will happen is, during the somite period, this neural plate forms a canalized structure. So this canalized structure which is going to form a gutter like. So this one is called a neural groove. So during the somite period, already we have seen the appearance of somite on either side of the midline. Once the neural groove appearance seen, so the lateral margin of the neural groove gets folds on either side and it forms a neural fold-like structure. Okay, so here we can see that fold we can call it as neural fold. So what will happen next is the neural fold going to fuse on the posterior side, that is on the dorsal side, from cranial to caudal. So this forms a tube-like structure above the notochord. So near the neural fold, we can able to observe a crustal cells. See here the yellow colorished cells is coded here. That is called a neural crust cells. So these cells can appear near the neural fold. So once the neural tube forms, it is lie below the ectodermal cells. After that, it is detached from the ectodermal and forms the neural tube. So once the neural tube formation occurs, so it actually the fuse will be appear in the cranial part. After that, the caudal part will get closed. So here we can get a two pores like structure, that is near the anterior end and the posterior end. So that is called a anterior neuropore and posterior neuropore. So this neuropore, it helps for the circulation of the amniotic fluid between this canalized neural tube. So the nutrition is got from the amniotic cavity by the neural tube. Now once the neural tube is formed, it is detached from the surface ectoderm and on either side we can see the neural crust cells. So these cells and the neural tube is going to form the development of the CNS structures. So the neural tube formation is going to produce a three successive vesicles. So that is one is forebrain vesicle and then midbrain and then hindbrain vesicle. The suspended part will become the spinal cord. So these developments are derived from the neural tube formation. Up to that we have seen the differentiation of the ectodermal cell layer, that is the neuroectodermal changes and the surface ectodermal changes. So the overall outline, what are the derivatives from the ectodermal layer, we just see in this part. So this ectodermal layer give rise to skin, hair, nails, sebaceous gland, sweat glands, olfactory epithelium, cheek epithelium, lens, corneal epithelium, anterior and posterior pituitary gland, tooth and enamel, gums, and then the whole CNS part is also derived from the neural tube, which is of the ectodermal derivative. And in case of the ear, the labyrinthine membrane and then the tympanic membrane and then the external acoustic meatus. So these also derived from the ectodermal layer. And the nasal cavity, paranasal air sinus, salivary gland, anal canal and the terminal part of the urethra is also derived. And the very important thing we have to know about the ectodermal layer is this going to develop the muscle of the iris and the skin. So usually the mesodermal layer is going to develop the muscles we have said in the previous slide. But in case of ectodermal derivative, this is one exception. That is the muscle of the iris and the skin muscle is derived from the ectodermal layer. So this we have to remember. So next one is the changes appear in the surface ectoderm. Once the head fold and tail fold occurs, see what will happen is this pericardial sac goes below the buccopharyngeal membrane. So here you can see the pericardial sac which goes below the buccopharyngeal membrane, and the stomatium is seen above the buccopharyngeal membrane. So at the bottom we can see that buccopharyngeal membrane lies between the stomatium and the pericardial sac. Once a fold occurs, this buccopharyngeal membrane is going to rupture and this connected to the stomatial part. So this stomatium in future will forms the oral cavity, and this buccopharyngeal membrane rupture will directly connected to the foregut, midgut and the hindgut part. So this is the thing we are going to see in the surface ectoderm. Next thing, when the tail fold occurs, see, the cloacal membrane is there. So this cloacal membrane is differentiated into two membrane. One is the anal and another one is urogenital membrane. So this membrane in later when the development occurs, this going to rupture, the cells going to rupture, and this forms the two orifice, anal and the urogenital orifice. So this is the thing is going to appear in the surface ectodermal differentiation. So and the other things such as the lens placode, aortic placode, these are all also the derivative of the ectodermal layer. So these derivatives, we will see the development of those things in the respective developmental areas. So up to that we have seen the embryonic period and the differentiation of the ectodermal layer only. So we will see the mesodermal derivative and the endodermal derivatives in the next videos. So I think you are able to understand well. Thank you for watching this video, friends. If you like this video, please share and subscribe. And please don't forget to click the bell icon.